The great thing about having a YouTube channel is that there are many ways to monetize your channel. The most popular method that people know about is AdSense, right? But the problem with that is you need a large YouTube channel to be able to earn good income from AdSense. And so that's what I like about brand deals and sponsorships, which is what this course is about. You don't need to have a large channel to earn six figures a year from brand deals and sponsorships, and that's what I'm going to be talking about throughout the following videos, is what types of channels do well when it comes to these brand deals and sponsorships. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what a brand deal is or a sponsorship, it's basically where you create videos but you promote the brand or the company in your video, and the company will pay you in return for that. Now, I'm also going to show you how to find these brands, how to approach them, and most importantly, how to know your worth. Because a lot of influencers or YouTube channels don't know their worth, and they are undercharging companies for their content. So you have to know your worth and realize, that possibly you are worth more than you think you are. And then, of course, I'm going to show you some methods and how to charge these companies, how much to charge them. There's different strategies that you can use. Okay, so with that said, I'll see you in the following video. So now let's go and find some brands to work with. There's actually dozens of platforms in which you can open an account and you can find brand deals on there. These platforms were created so that influencers and brands can connect with each other. Now, just for those who aren't familiar with the term influencer, it's anybody that has an audience. So if you're a YouTuber, if you have an Instagram account, so basically if you have a social media account and you have followers, then you are considered an influencer. Okay, and usually in these platforms, the brand or the company will post a job and invite influencers to apply. You would submit a proposal, and if accepted, you and the brand discuss more details and payments. And if you do finally get approved by that company, then you'll create your content, post it on YouTube, and that brand will pay you. Popular websites for finding brands are FameBit and Grapevine. Another way to find brands is just by doing a Google search. Okay, you just find companies related to the topic of your channel. Look for companies in your niche, but the trick here is to find somebody that has authority to sign off on these deals. You have to find the right person to talk to, because if you are talking or in communication with somebody and they don't have the authority to sign off on these deals, then you are wasting your time. Okay, so the person you are looking for in most cases is a chief marketing officer. So you'd have to look at the brand's corporate website to find their contact information, and it can be hard to find who it is. So you can search through the company's press releases, find out who's in charge of marketing. You can also find their names in trade magazines. Now, one way to find the most current chief marketing officer is by doing a Google search for these terms. Type in marketing magazine and then type in the brand name. So let's say it's Reebok, the shoe company. So type in marketing magazine Reebok and the current year. Okay, and then type in appointed. Lastly, do not approach the brand's advertising agencies, because you are sort of competing with them and they have their own budgets that they're dealing with. You really have to hustle when it comes to finding brands. Most YouTubers will actually just wait to be contacted, and only a few people will try to contact brands every day. And it's these YouTubers who find the most success with brand deals and sponsorships. Okay, so now once you find brands to work with, how do you approach them? Well, when you first email them, you have 10 seconds to grab their attention, tell them who you are and how you can bring value to them. Okay, you have to keep in mind that it's not all about you. You need to be the solution to their problems. So find out what their problems are. Provide them stats such as who your demographics are and how many views per video you get. You're also going to want to have a website that gives more details about you, because they'll probably research you as well. Now, when your mentality when it comes to approach to them is to think like an agency, okay? And you have to do your research on the brand. Even look at their past marketing campaigns from the past several years. And you know what? It doesn't matter how good your idea is. It matters how tailored it is to their needs. Okay? You can also give them a preview of the type of video that you're going to create for them. And another thing is, don't be the first to give your price. Instead, ask them what their budget is and that you'd love to work around their budget. And lastly, you have to be able to deal with rejection after all your hard work, because rejection is part of the process. You're going to get rejected a lot, but in the long run, all your hard work will pay off. Now, before you charge brands for your services, it's important to know your worth so that you can be confident in what you charge companies, because you may be more valuable than you perceive. You have to have the mentality that if they reject you, it's their loss. They're the ones who are missing out on marketing to your niche. And you have to realize that it costs a lot of money for companies to create content. They have to pay money to hire actors and production costs, etc. So they see a lot of value in your channel because you're creating the content for them already. Okay? And brands spend thousands of dollars on spots, on ad spots, on social media that don't even convert much. So they're used to spending a lot of money. And most YouTubers don't know that. So they don't know how to price themselves when being approached by brands. Now, here are some metrics to determine your brand deal value. Your engagement rate, how specific is your niche. The more specific your niche is, the more money you're worth. So even if you have a small channel, you're possibly worth more than a channel that is not in a specific niche. Some people who have only 30,000 subscribers or even much less than that are earning a full-time income. I'm talking 6 figures per year just because their niche is very specific. So try to deal with brands who are targeting your specific audience, not just the brands who are trying to target a general niche, because you'll get paid more from these brands. Another metric to determine your brand deal value is your reach, and also the time of year plays a factor in how much you'll get paid. Generally around Christmas season, November and December pay the most. Your value also depends on your idea and strategy for how you're going to market their product. Your value also depends on your production fees. So for example, you can charge 15% of your production fees. And your value also depends on how hot you are at the moment or how popular you are. So basically, micro influencers, people who have between 1,000 to 100,000 subscribers, are in demand right now and are worth more. And micro influencers have higher engagement rates, probably because they're able to respond back to comments, since they do have a smaller audience and they have the time to respond back to everybody. Okay, and lastly, just want to let you know that doing live videos will get you great results as well because of the high engagement. So companies are willing to spend a lot of money to get exposure if you decide to do a live video. Some big brands actually use a formula when determining how much to pay. And you know what? There's no magic formula when trying to determine how much you should charge big brands for these deals and sponsorships. And there's so many variables that come into play, and there's different strategies that you can use. I mean, one variable that comes into play is what type of video are you going to make? Are you going to make a video that's dedicated to just talking about the product, or a video where you briefly mention the product? Okay, a dedicated video is worth around 3 times more than a video where you just briefly mention the product. If you've never done brand deals before, A good starting point is to ask for $50 per 1,000 views that you get on average. You can also charge less for products that you already like and use, because these are easier to incorporate and appear more natural in your videos. And then you would charge more for products that you wouldn't use but your audience might like. For someone with a channel of 20,000 subscribers, you can expect brands to offer you around $250 to $500 to make a video that promotes their product. Now, one strategy that you can use, and this is something that barely anybody does, is to offer them a multiple video deal where they'll get a lower rate per video. So you're going to be giving them a deal, and it's going to work in their favor as well, because they're offering to pay between $250 to $500 anyways per video from other influencers. But here you are, you're offering to make videos, multiple videos for $200. So you're going to be saving them a lot of money in the long run. And what you're going to do in these videos is you're going to do your regular content and offer the brand a 30-second ad spot in each video. So the great thing about this is you're just doing your regular content and you're not really compromising the quality or the value of your content in the eyes of your audience. You're just doing your regular thing, but you're just offering a 30-second ad spot in each of these videos. Companies usually spend thousands of dollars to produce a 30-second ad spot anyways. They're going to be familiar with this process. Another great thing about this strategy is that you can try to get long-term deals with brands. So instead of just going for a week or a month, you could sign a 5-month deal with a brand and have revenue coming in for the next few months. And that'll go a long way in terms of paying your bills, and just knowing that you have revenue coming in will help you a lot. Here's another pricing method that you can use. Instead of charging based on views, which is hard to predict, try to charge based on ROI, or return on investment. If a brand's product is selling for, say, $500 and you charge $500 to do a video for them which promotes their product, then they only have to make one sale to break even. Your engagement rate is a good indicator of how well their offer might convert. And if you have affiliate marketing data, that can also be a good indicator of how well their offer will convert. You also have to know how many views your videos get in that type of category, or whenever you review these types of products. So if these videos that usually make for these types of products usually get, say, 1,000 views, and your conversion is 3%, that's 30 sales they can expect. 30 sales of a $500 product is a lot of money. So you have to figure out how much is the brand willing to pay for these types of results. You can go with an ROI-based model based on how much revenue you are likely to generate for the brand, and then what's appropriate to charge for that potential, and what would it take for them to break even. You have to work this into your pitch and communicate it effectively. Lastly, try to position it as them not paying for the content, but paying for editing and production work, and you consulting them on what would appeal to your audience. If you approach brands from this perspective, you might be able to retain creative control and make sure that everyone is getting value.